Our investigation revealed a senior homeowner with a chronic illness got a city notice that added to her daily struggle. Tonight, our Mike McKnight shows us how a councilman and a contractor stepped up on the eve of Thanksgiving as First Alert 6 investigates.
The sound of a concrete saw cuts into the stress that Christine Locke has been enduring since receiving a city notice to repair a fallen retaining wall by mid-December.
It shows the city that we are working with them. We're trying to work with them on it, yes.
Marsh Creek Concrete brought in a skid loader to remove the heavy chunks of wall that fell last August. Omaha City Council member Ron Hugg contacted the contractor when he heard the city gave Christine a repair deadline.
The city will definitely see that some progress is being made, and I believe they will continue to work with you on the deadline.
Marsh Creek Concrete is clearing the way to rebuild Christine's section of the wall. Well, the concrete chunks have been removed and new blocks will be brought in. There's still the remaining part of the retaining wall that two neighbors are responsible for, and they'll have to deal with the city on getting that done. Violation notices had been sent to owners of 3 properties adjacent to the collapsed wall, but the superintendent of inspections for Omaha tells me the city will work with those showing a good faith effort. The effort of the contractor's project supervisor, Brian Lasher, and crew shows the good in others.
People really needed some help, and Brian wanted us to come out and step up, and we
here you are.
The opportunity to do it.
I mean, this is generosity beyond anything these people imagine, anything I could have imagined.
Since Christine and her husband are on fixed incomes, the project field supervisor for Marsh Creek Concrete says the removal and replacement of the wall will be free for the senior couple.
This is going to make my Thanksgiving better. It really is. This is such a relief.
Christine tells her daughter about the donated repairs.
My parents are, in the state that they're in, a little bit more fragile, a little bit more of a controlled income. Something like this it's better than a Christmas gift.
By hopefully meeting the city deadline for wall repair, a contractor and councilman have helped a senior suffering from lung disease get a load off her chest.
I can breathe again, yeah. That really feels better.
Near 23rd and E, Mike McKnight, First Alert 6.
The contractor plans to install large concrete blocks for the locks portion of the retaining wall next week. The estimated cost for that section of the project is $30,000.